In this video, we will discuss about the one of the positive effect of this intermittent fasting on type 1 diabetes, and that effect is that uh, it will reduce the symptom of type 1 diabetes, that is cognitive dysfunctions, by improving the frontal cortical metabolic disorders. So before going to the topic, let us quickly revise what this type 1 diabetes does and what actually happens in this type 1 diabetes. In type 1 diabetes, the immune system of the host destroys the pancreatic cells that are capable of producing insulins, and because of that, the insulin productions in those patients are less than the actual requirement, and that will cause this type 1 diabetes to those patients. And because of that, what will happen is that there is a problem that occurs that is related to the brain, such as memory loss and speaking dysfunctional and other problems that are directly related to the brains. So in this study, what they have found out is that the intermittent fasting helps in improving those cognitive dysfunctions that are faced by these type 1 diabetes patients. And they have done some this in vivo studies on mice and also validated those studies, or their results are in line with their in vitro studies. So what they have find out is in general is that in the case of this diabetic mice, or in the case of this type 1 diabetes, the pro-apoptotic factors such as BUX1 are produced more, and the oxidation factors such as ROS are also produced more. However, in the case of when the patients are under intermittent fasting, or in this case, the mice are under intermittent fasting, and they find out that apoptotic factors, these oxidation factors, and also this oxidative stress are low to the patients that are or mice that are affected with this type 1 diabetes. And also one more thing that they have find out, in the case of this diabetic mice, there is a less presence of this N-acetyl aspartate, whereas in the case of when the mice is under intermittent fasting, it will accelerate the N-acetyl aspartate, and at the same time glutamate and aspartate productions is also reestablished within this intermittent fasting mice. And other things, and apart from these in vivo studies, they also validated those results, such as this BUX1, which is the component, or which is the component that represents this apoptotic, or which is the apoptotic factors, has also been reduced when the cells are expressed under this N-acetyl aspartate, which cause to rise glutamate and aspartate process, and this is found to be increased in the case of the mice that are undergone intermittent fasting, and that is the reason they decided to do in vitro studies with this increased amount of this N-acetyl aspartate. And it will and overall what they have find out that the metabolic reprogrammings that has occurred, and they have done this they have validated this metabolic reprogramming using metabolics and targeted LCMS studies, and they have find out that metabolic reprogramming is approaching more close towards the normal metabolic reprogramming compared to the mice with this which have this disordered metabolic profiling, not programming, profiling. Yeah, profiling is the right word. And these are the genes, or these are the proteins that are found to be upregulated, such as PCP, CER. Whereas in the case of this normal metabolic programming, because profiling, these proteins are found in low amount, which is in line with this healthy mice conditions. So, and overall, this brain functioning has found to be, or the brain restorations has found to be close to the normal mice brain, and whereas diabetic mice without any intermittent fasting or with this at libitum will doesn't have any improvement in the brain qualities. So these are these are just a basic overview, and their overall objective was to made a point that intermittent fasting helps in reducing this cognitive dysfunction. And if you need to understand more about their studies in detail, you can go through the reference that has been provided in the description. That's all for this video. Thank you for your time.